My name is Sharvey Salkar. I'm from Pune, from India. I'm an architect by profession. I studied architecture in Pune, and then later I did my master's from Germany in landscape architecture. And ever since then, I'm no more working as an architect, but as a landscape architect in Essen with Planungsbüro DTP Landschaftsarchitekten. Yes, so I've been in Germany for 4 years now. Well, I've been. I'm born in a family with architects and artists. So my grandfather was a commercial artist, and my father is an architect. So I've been seeing architecture and arts, or fine arts, I would say, since my childhood. And we had everything that related to arts and architecture was always there in our house. So whether it is there are books, there are films, or whatever. So I've been painting since my childhood, and my father and my grandfather always would have been there. So they had the biggest influence. They laid the biggest influence on me, and then yeah. So they were always there, and I think it is what they told me, what they preach. I think I took it ahead. I tried different painting mediums. Also, as a child, I did, of course, with pastel colors first. Then I did some oil painting. But in watercolor, the most interesting fact I found that firstly, I could really express in with watercolors very well, I would say. And then the most interesting part is that watercolor, being a transparent medium, it kind of creates a room for interpretation. So when you do something with the watercolor, it's not just a color that you apply, but there's always this play of colors with different layers which are transparent. So that really kind of attracted me, and yes, so then I kept on practicing with watercolors. What I generally do in my artwork is I always try to so basically my artwork is mostly influenced by architecture and landscape architectural elements, I would say, and also music, mostly Indian classical music, which is because I have learned that. I do not whenever I conceptualize something and when I paint, it's not a statement or a particular message that I really want to send out, but it's something that is more of an expression. So I would put it in such a way that yes, there is always an expression, and as I said, watercolor being a medium which creates a lot of space for interpretation for the person who views the artwork, I think, or the painting or the sketch. They have other interpretations. So this is an expression which is my expression, but interpreted maybe by someone else in a different way. Yes, of course, Germany has a big influence on me as an artist. I came to Germany in 2010 or 11 first, when I got a scholarship for a language course, and I did the first language course in Schwäbisch Hall. And I was so much influenced, or I was in love with the landscape and the kind of, the landscape and the townscape, I would say, the cityscapes over here. And when I went back, and then when I started studying at the university, and when I was doing the paintings, this aspect of including landscape architecture in my paintings, it became more stronger, and then it had this influence of Germany. So I started painting, of course, using some reference pictures and images of the landscapes, the cultural landscapes in Germany and also in the Europe. So yes, from then I think Germany has also had an influence. And later, when I am in Germany working as a landscape architect, when I studied here in Germany, I think the other parts of the German culture, that is the subtle character that is always shown in the designs, in the form of design, in the design language. I think that has also been coming in my paintings recently. That is something that I also have realized. So yes, overall, right from my conceptualization, right from the idea development until the technique of painting, using of colors, I think everything is influenced, has a German influence, I would say. I always thought of how so cultural integration or cultural exchange is generally linked to music. So when you have, for example, certain events wherein you talk about Indo-German collaborations and stuff, then you talk about theater, then you talk about dance, I would say, or music. And as a landscape architect and architect, then I thought that what if there are really strong aspects or elements in architecture and landscape architecture in both the countries which are really dominant and prominent, or they have a strong influence on the culture. So I thought, what if I create a series of a few paintings or sketches in such a way that I juxtapose certain scenarios. So for example, as you said, the Rhine Ufer, the Rhine promenade, which is there. So there is a painting that I've conceptualized in which it's seen. You can see that in the background you have the Rhine, the Kölner Dome, and then in the front you have the vibrant ghats of Banaras. So in Banaras, in India, you have is famous for this different kind of a riverfront development. So the river is more it kind of relates to the religious activities. And over here in Germany, I would say the Rheinufer has a completely different character and a completely different definition, I would say. So that is why I thought that when you juxtapose these two things, the most interesting fact that when you look at it as a painting, it still looks very interesting. It's not just because it is a painting that is done and that is why it looks interesting, but this concept and these elements, they still go together. So I thought that there is still a cultural integration that happens when you even juxtapose these surreal situations. Same goes with the Brandenburger Tor. The series is actually like a dream of a boy who's in Germany is illustrated. It says, there's a story behind it, and so this boy goes to different places in Germany, to different landmarks, and then he thinks that and then he kind of reminds himself of India. So, for example, in the Brandenburger Tor is in Berlin. Berlin is the capital of Germany, and Diwali is a festival which is celebrated all over India. So, when you juxtapose these two, how would you see that you have the entire Vorplatz or the arena which is in front of the Brandenburger Tor completely laid down with Rangoli Teppich or the carpet. These are the different juxtaposed pictures, but they also make a strong statement as well as they also kind of they look like a complete artwork, is what I realized. Yes, the profession of landscape architecture, I think it's also creative. So the thought process goes on for the entire week. Even though I'm working, I have so many concepts, even for myself, that run through my head. And then when I'm working on certain projects, I think I also have certain influences that I see certain references or I think certain things, and then, So, but mostly physically, when I sit for painting, I do it on the weekend, of course. And yes, I also go out for sketching, of course, over here. And I'm a part of Urban Sketchers in Essen, Düsseldorf. Even I was once there in Berlin as a part of the team. So yeah, this is how I kind of, and of course, sketching is an integral part of my profession. So during the week, I probably do, I don't know how, I don't count the sketches, but I keep on sketching. As an artist, I think, I am an artist by heart, because what I think by now I've realized it fairly enough that whatever I do, I always have an artistic inclination for that. So yes, I have developed my painting abilities now. Along with it, I've also learned music, though I'm not a professional musician, but yes, I have a good insight in that particular in the art. So yeah, as an artist, I think I certainly look forward for exhibiting more works. The most interesting thing that I would like to do ahead is kind of find out a way in which I could really give an experience of how watercolor painting and music can come together. Not just that a painting is based on some music also, but something like yeah, I'm not very sure about it, but maybe using some technology. But I think I'm really interested in kind of getting these two arts together to create an expression, because I think my artwork is all about what I express, what I want to say, and then what others want to interpret. Yeah.